What's going on, people? It's your boy Tony Guns back at y'all with another one. Today's order of business, outside of the original order of business, which is building leaders and creating kings operation by building national development over generations. But I want to talk to y'all today about rap and its influence. Is rap responsible for the violence that we see in our communities? Is rap responsible for the deaths that we see in our communities? Is rap responsible for the deaths in the rap community in general? We just had a young man in P&B Rock that, was murdered about a week or so ago. Do we feel like rap and rap music and the things that they talk about and discuss is a direct correlation to the violence that we see in our communities? And I'm gonna open that door up right off the break. I love rap. I listen to some of the hardest rap music there is. I listen to all the drug dealer, the dope boy, the trap music, all that. I listen to it. I love it. I love it. Do I think that it's directly responsible? The intelligent side of me would say no. Obviously not. It's not the rap. The rap music isn't going out there and killing people. So no, it's not directly responsible, but indirectly, it's different. Now I was having this debate with somebody like, how is it the rap music, like Tony, like you just said that you listened to it and you turned out fine and things like, yeah, well, that's me, but we know. Let's stop playing. Let's be serious. We know that music in and of itself sets a certain tone. It gives us a certain vibe, gives us a certain energy. I grew up in a household where my mother or my aunts and parents, when it was time to clean up, I'm talking about the deep cleaning. On the weekends, more often than not, when my mother got into a deep clean of the house, you know what she would do? Especially in the summertime, or when it was a little cool outside, she would open those windows up. Open up all the windows to let some fresh air in, to let some fresh air in. But when she opened those windows up, guess what she did? She turned on that radio, popped her CD. One of her favorite CDs might be some Mary J. bumping or something. Might be some Mary J. bumping. She popped that in and let that bump throughout the entire house while she was cleaning. And she cleaned from top to bottom. Smelled good in the house. It felt good in the house. It gave a good vibe. We know this. We know the music is what gave the good vibe. And the whole time she in there, we were able to laugh, joke, and smile. Some of the hurt, harm, and danger, some of the stress of the work week, all of that, a lot of that was pushed to the side on that Saturday while that music was playing. It brought about smiles and good feeling. We know that to be true. We know that to be true in our communities. We know that on holidays and things of that nature, certain music is played. Christmas times, you play all of your favorite Christmas songs, and we know that those Christmas songs oftentimes are that very thing that sets the tone for our families. You understand what I'm saying? We know that on birthdays and things of that nature, we sing happy birthday, but in our communities, we not only sing happy birthday, the regular happy birthday song, then we go into the Stevie Wonder, happy birthday. Then we come from that, we might even sing a club music. If it's your birthday, make some to 50 Cent. It's your birthday, go. Yeah, we going up. I say all that to say, music is a great influence. We know that when we go in that gym, we have certain workout music that we listen to that gives us a little pump, that pumps us up, that gives us a little that extra edge to keep pushing forward. We know that if we are in sports, oftentimes when we're coming down that tunnel, you'll see guys with their earbuds in so they can get in the zone, something that helps them get into the zone. You see that often. But yeah, we're going to suggest that music don't influence us. You ever come back off of a night out with your friends and things of that nature, and you're a little bit intoxicated and you want to slow things down, so you turn off that turn up music that you had prior to you going out. You had turn up music on. But then when you're trying to make it home, you turn on slow jams. You turn on slow jams. You ever notice that on that turn up, while you listening, you got that seat back a little bit and you riding. While you listening, you don't even, sometimes we don't even realize you starting to push that pedal a little harder. A little harder. You goddamn doing 50 in a 30 mile per hour lane. You're doing 50 in a 30. just because of the music. But because now things is moving a little fast and you want things to slow down, you put on slow jams. Then you're doing 20 and a 30. Music has great influence. So how can we sit here and dare to suggest that music doesn't have an influence on one, hip hop in general? The hip hop culture, our culture is hip hop. And our culture, I would suggest, is the culture that influences not only America. Our culture is the culture in which influences America. It has a strong influence on America. And America has a strong influence on other worldviews. Let's take that into consideration for a moment. But now let's reel it back in real quick without getting too deep. I want to know, how can we sit and suggest that the music that we listen to cannot be directly correlated to the violence that's being perpetuated? These young men listen to these songs. Let me explain something before I talk about these young men. Let me talk about myself when I was a young man. I grew up on certain music, and I don't want to put the names out there because I don't necessarily want to, like cast a negative shadow on these groups or these individuals. But it would be certain music. They used to call us when we were, I'm not even going to get into that because then it would give the name of those groups. When we were younger, young men, we would literally listen to certain music. Whether we was in a club, a house party, whatever it was, we would listen to certain music. And the music was so hard and harsh. Before that night was over, bam, we was going to somebody's mouth. We was going to somebody's mouth. You say, do you believe the music made you do it, or was that something that was already an inclination of who you are? It was a combination. It was a combination. We grew up in a rough and harsh environment in general, but then the music that we listened to is what gave us that driving force to go and perpetuate that violence that we were already accustomed to. We were already accustomed to that violence. We were already accustomed to that violence. So all the music is a reflection of the violence that we're already accustomed to. But not only is it a reflection of it, it's perpetuating that same violence because it's a melody that we listening to of violence. Now that isn't to suggest that all music that we listen to, all hip hop music that we listen to is strictly violence, or that it's not a message, because it's beauty and intelligence and genius within that. It's genius within that. Let's be clear. It's genius. When you take these young men that come from these diverse but harsh conditions and is able to ration, realize it, interpret it, and then put it to wax. Put it to wax. Make it rhyme. Give it reason. Give it purpose. Add similes, metaphors, and things of that nature that makes us fit, all while riding a beat. And they do that for so long that oftentimes, yeah, you get people that want to write it down and have to write it down, but more often than not, you have individuals now, they can do it off the top of their heads because they're off the top of their head because they're so accustomed to doing so. That is genius. That is genius. How they can ride the beat, that is genius. That is genius. It's a rhythm. It's a rhythm for you to be able to take exactly what you're going through and articulate it in a manner that individuals around you are not only influenced by it, but they are moved by it. Some songs that we hear can bring us to tears. Some songs that we hear can bring us to joy. Some songs that we hear can bring us to blows. That is genius. So this isn't to cast a shadow or chastise or belittle or degrade it by any stretch of the imagination. I'm going to big you up. But I cannot take away or just ignore the fact that as eloquent as it is, it may be, as genius as it is, it may be, it doesn't have an influence on our psyche, how we see and how we rationalize things. And then one of the other things was, you get these movie producers and directors and things of that nature, they make movies on violence, always saying that we are moved and persuaded by it. Yeah. Yes, we are. When you were a child and, what used to come on? Black Belt Theater or WrestleMania or something came on. Did you not, as a kid, go outside and try to do some of those moves? Because I know we did. When you watch football on television, did you not go outside and try to do some of those moves? Because I know I did. We are influenced by those things that we are constantly force-fed, that we are constantly fed. We are influenced. So yeah, music has an influence on us. Yes, these rap music that we have is a large perpetrator of some of these violent acts. Even if obviously the music isn't what's killing people, it's the individual that's growing up off of the influence of these different individuals that are killing people. I'm a rob, you kill, you steal, you kick. That becomes what's cool. That becomes the norm. It becomes what your psyche in turn takes in and believe. It's nothing wrong with that. These are our conditions. I'm just rapping about our conditions. But I promise if you do something to me or do something that I disagree, this is going to be what's going to happen, and somebody will be rapping about these other conditions that I contributed to. This is who we are. I just want to be for real about that. Music has a heavy influence on the violence that we have in our community. But it also has some positives. And the next one I'm going to do, we're going to talk and speak on the positives. Because, listen, as much as we have negative, like what's that kid named Moray? I got love for the ghetto, love for the hood, love for the, all that, to turn the bad into good. It's a lot of good deeds and a lot of stuff that come out of some of those ugly things that we have in our hoods and our systems and our cities. And we're going to speak on that next go round. Let's talk about it. Live strong or die weak. Do man shit, ain't no pressure.